everybody, welcome to this amazing video to go over the relics of Season 3 for as long as we're in the PTS. This is not the final iteration of relics, but this will give you a good idea of what relics to expect when going into Season 3 for as long as Hi-Rez doesn't make any changes. While taking a look at these relics, we'll try to compare them to the actives we have in Season 2 to see how much of a difference there is between each season so you guys can better prepare yourselves. Remember that these relics are free and do not cost gold like actives do, therefore there was quite a change to all of this. First things first, let's talk about Sprint. It's pretty basic. Sprint increases your movement speed by 40% and provides you a slow immunity with a 140-second cooldown. This is not your average sprint though, as it does provide sprint for your entire team. However, keep in mind that this is not heavenly agility, as you will not recover additional HP from all healing sources. It is just additional movement speed. With that being said, it does not counter Curse, however it does provide you an immunity to the slow on Curse and you still will not heal nearly as much. Next up is Blink. It still functions about the same with a short teleport while you are out of combat for 5 seconds. It's got a 120-second cooldown. In order to blink, like I said, you had to be out for 5 seconds, meaning if you are dealt damage or dish out any kind of damage, you cannot blink. However, if you do not deal damage even while using abilities, you will not invoke the 5-second cooldown required to be out of combat. Therefore, you can still use dashes, mezzes, and all sorts of wonderful crowd control for as long as it does not deal damage. Sunder, the new relic, provides a new effect that hasn't been done before as far as I know with actives. It shoots a magical bolt that deals 40 true damage plus 14 per player level. It also reduces the target's armor by 25%. That's both physical and magical. The funny thing is, this can also stack, so being hit by multiple Sunders reduces your protections each time by 25%. It's very important to note that though yes, this can be used against gods, that this Sunder ability can be used against other targets such as minions or objectives, dealing the true damage and reducing its protection. Purification is the replacement for beads, which provides us a 2-second immunity to crowd control with a 160-second cooldown. And with the crowd control being such a heavy part of this meta, these are pretty weak but required in quite a bit of team comps. So just keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be talking about this on its own video, but you have to know that Purification is the new Purification beads, except it's just called Purification. We should all be familiar with Shell by now. It provides 45 protections to your team and 15% damage reduction of all types of damage with a 140-second cooldown. Essentially, this means that you'll be taking significantly less damage for as long as you have Shell on you, and this will also reduce the damage of any true damage incoming. It really does help when you are in a team fight, but overall, it's nothing new. We just no longer have access to Spike Shell. Frenzy is the replacement to Girdle, which gives you and your team an additional 20% additional power, be it physical or magical, and also increases your in-hand damage by 20%. That's not included in the tooltip, but do know that if you build absolutely no power, you won't gain any additional power, but your basic attacks will increase by 20%. Curse is our replacement for both Weakening and Enfeebling Curse, and we essentially only got Weakening Curse. So it does about the same with a 40% movement reduction and 65% heal reduction. It is important to remember that just because you can cleanse the slow or not have the slow apply to you, that does not mean that the healing reduction does not stick. You cannot cleanse the healing reduction. Meditation now replaces Salvation and Greater Meditation, essentially only being Salvation. Heals for 15% of the user's maximum HP and 35% of the user's maximum mana to all of them and their allies. Do be careful, as Meditation's healing can be reduced through anti-healing methods. Sanctuary replaces Greater Aegis and Aegis Pendant by being Aegis Pendant. Essentially, you get 2-second damage immunity with the ability to move around at a 160-second cooldown. This means that you can still be crowd controlled, pulled, and all that fancy jazz, you just won't take any damage. It's very important to note that you can be cleansed during any of the CC you receive while immune. However, you cannot receive any type of healing since you are immune to damage, so no healing, no damage. Teleport essentially removes teleport to gods out of the game and only allows us to teleport to wards or towers. Same rules apply, hard CC will interrupt the teleport, or if the object you're teleporting to is destroyed, that will also interrupt, and this has a 180-second cooldown. Wrath now replaces Hand of the Gods, and it essentially does the same thing, damaging the highest health minion or boss in the general area. Remember that this does not stun gods, so that will not save you from any impending ganks. But do remember, if your entire team does go ham on a Gold Fury, 5 people will instantly take it out in the early game. Hopefully this video went over all the relics and allowed you guys to understand what they do and what they're for, just the basics at least. I'll have to cover a lot more of these mechanics later on as Season 3 is officially released, since they are still changing what they do. Did you not see an active that you think should be a relic? That's probably because it's not there. If you did not see your previous active in Season 2 as a relic, it does not exist anymore. We are losing a lot of things such as Shield the Underworld, which is a true shame. I don't want anyone to freak out. The changes that are coming their way are actually feeling pretty natural as I've been playing. So therefore, don't wig out. They are balancing the crowd control issue, and I will have that coming out in a video here shortly. But for now, let's just enjoy each other's company and try to learn what we can off what we got. Thank you everybody for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, good game.